Hello, Holberton students. My name is Russ, and I'm a second-year student in the WebStack specialization. Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, has a wide variety of tools to help you start serving content that range from greater control to ease of use. With Compute Engine, for example, you can control exactly how many VMs you want to spin up, how much memory they should have, what operating system they should use, and so on. But with Cloud Functions, for example, you don't even build an app at all. You just create a series of endpoints that clients and users would interact with, and the logic that would be performed on each of them. There's no app.py, no WSGI. I'll be covering Compute Engine in this video because it allows you the greatest degree of control over your environment. For those seeking a career in DevOps, Compute Engine could provide a good opportunity for you to show off what you learned about server setup and configuration. So what is Compute Engine? Compute Engine is what's known as an infrastructure as a service. So basically what that means is you're given an access to an infrastructure, such as a virtual machine. You decide how many VMs you'll need to keep up with your traffic, what kind of resources to allocate to them, what kind of operating system to use. You can even choose what web server to install, how to configure your VM instances to communicate with one another. In short, you'll have lots of control over the DevOps side of things. And with Compute Engine, you pay for the resources you allocate. So things like the number of VMs, how resource intensive they are, those are going to determine your costs. Of course, like most GCP products, there's a very generous free tier, and for this project, it most likely won't cost you a thing. So the first thing you want to do is go to console.cloud.google.com, and you may see a slightly different screen because you have to agree to terms the first time, but basically you'll want to create a new project, give it a name, and then head over to the hamburger menu, scroll down to Compute Engine, and up to VM instances. And this may take a couple of minutes to load, but when it does, we'll hit Create. There we go. And right away it prompts you to create a new virtual machine, a new instance. And you can see we can choose the time zone, lots of settings. We can decide what operating system to use. Let's make it something familiar like Ubuntu. Let's say Ubuntu 18. And plenty of other options. You can tell it what kind of traffic to allow, more in here. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple and hit Create. And now this is spinning up your instance. This can take a minute or two. And now that it's spun up, we can see the external IP address, which of course isn't hosting anything yet. So how do we access it? Well, one way is to hit this SSH button. And that's going to bring up an in-browser terminal. But it's a little bit clunky, honestly, and probably not the best way to connect. So I would recommend going over here under Settings to Metadata, and then up here to SSH keys. What we're going to do is give GCP we're going to generate a SSH key, SSH keygen, and then we're going to give GCP the public key so that it knows who we are, and we can access it through the terminal. So we'll copy our public key. Paste it into here. And you can see it recognized my username, the username on my local machine, Russell Malamak. So when we want to connect, we'll use that again. We'll do SSH-I, the private key file, and then your username at the external IP address. So you're just saying I want to SSH as this user using this private key, and bam, you're accessing your virtual machine. So all you have to do now is, set up your environment, build your app, and give your external IP address to the domain provider that you're using, and you're good to go. I hope this has helped, and I hope that you'll check out what I'm working on too. It's called The Point Is to Change It. Give me a follow, give me a like, stay in the loop. Good luck.